Directors join boards because they want to have an impact, they want to make a difference. People join boards because they want to focus on how to fashion the business of tomorrow from the business of today. And indeed, our economy at large depends very much upon the success of these directors steering these businesses and being themselves effective in what they're trying to do. But very many boards struggle, despite the best intentions and the willingness and enthusiasm of the directors around the table, and often indeed despite the capability of the directors around the table, many of them struggle to do what it is they came there to do. Many of them struggle to have a conversation about the future and the things that really matter because they're bogged down in often information that comes up to the board that's focused firmly on the past and on the operational detail. And unless we can help boards to unlock their potential and to have that forward-looking conversation about the important things, the whole British economy may suffer for it. Now, an effective board requires a number of things to be in place to set it up to succeed. Of course, first and foremost, you need the right people around the boardroom table. We all know that. And indeed, a lot of the focus in the last few years has been shone firmly on the people who sit at the boardroom tables of many of our largest companies. But even if you are blessed with the most perfectly configured board of directors, people who have the right experience, skills, the right attitude and enthusiasm, and diversity as a group, even if you are blessed with all of that, in the absence of the right information, that board is blindfolded. So what we exist to do at Board Intelligence is to help the board to have the conversation about the things that really matter by feeding them with the relevant stimulus, the relevant information that will enable that conversation. So the question that many ask us is how? How do you develop effective information for the board? Information that is relevant and readable. Well, the first step is to answer the question, what is the board trying to achieve? Not in general terms, but in the particular of your board for your organisation, given what your organisation needs right now. The first step is to clarify the brief for the board and the conversation that the board is trying to have. And only then, once everyone is aligned around that, can you even think about the information that you're going to need to stimulate that conversation. So getting very clear on the board's priorities has to be the first step. And we tend to think about those priorities in two different categories. First of all, stewardship, the shaping of the future of the organisation. And secondly, the supervision, the check and balance on management. Now, those are two completely separate roles that the unitary board in the UK is expected to fulfil. Very different roles requiring a very different style of conversation and requiring a very different style and nature of information to support them. So first of all, as a board, agree what are the stewardship priorities that what are the big questions that we as a board need to grapple with to help define the right course for this organisation for the future. And separately, what are the really important things that really matter that we need to supervise? Once you are clear on that as a board, you have two briefs, a board for the information to stimulate the stewardship discussions in the boardroom and the information to enable the board to effectively supervise. But getting clear on those priorities is step one. Now, the reason many organisations struggle to fix the problem of the board pack, often a perennial problem, is because they start by trying to fix the board pack. But the first thing to do has to be to define those priorities for the board.